So I am here evaluating the Evaluator for Iris. And so if you're coming up and you're doing an evaluation, you want to see a good introduction and conclusion. You want to see the evaluator emphasize something they did well, especially if the speaker challenged themselves on it. And you want to give good suggestions. So Iris, you introduced it really well. You caught his attention. Cleaning, we're going to have a speech about cleaning. So he got pulled in really well. And I think emphasizing his props was a good idea. Like, you gave him good encouragement. You give everybody good encouragement. You even encouraged me with my hat. So I think that was really effective. And when you get to the feedback to really, challenge him and give him something to work on, my biggest suggestion is, when you evaluate, don't forget to evaluate to the purpose of the speech. And the purpose of this was persuasive speech. And the big thing that jumped out at me listening to it is, I didn't totally get, why should I clean? You didn't convince me, have a really clear, strong linkage, why that will make my life better. Exactly how did your life get better? Why did cleaning lead to, we should charge out to want to go home and wash our windows. So really focus on ways he could make it more persuasive in the evaluation, because I think that needed work, personally. And when you evaluate, you talk about the content of the speech, but you also should talk about the presentation. And I think you could have made some points, maybe suggest not the pacing back and forth. And yes, the eyes moved around, but didn't quite make eye contact with us. So always kind of looked over us a little bit. Don't forget to talk about how the person spoke and their body language and their use of the voice, which was good in the speech. It wasn't a weakness, but it's often good to mention that. But the biggest thing is, don't forget to evaluate, the persuasive elements of it. And then when you got to the end, I think you were a little bit hurried. The conclusion kind of, it ended it, but it was just kind of your last point, where it's always good to come back around and be like, so, good use of bringing relevant props, but don't forget to create a linkage about why that cleaning makes our lives better and motivate us. Boom. Give a nice conclusion like that. But it was terrific. You did a good job. I think continuing to focus on the objective of the speech, don't forget about that when you're evaluating, and focusing on suggestions there more than anywhere else. All right, thank you, Alex.